What is up, you guys? Coach Nia Renee here, and welcome back to my YouTube channel for How to Love a Battered Woman. That's right. You heard what I said. Coach Nia Renee here. I'm officially a certified relationship coach, and today we're going to talk about all things sex and narcissists and toxic people. Let's talk about sex. In my previous relationship, I dealt with someone who was very much what I believed an undiagnosed narcissist. And I want to preface this by saying I am not demonizing those who suffer from narcissistic personality disorder. What I am bringing to the forefront is those who don't identify that they have an issue and want to actively work on their problem. I was in a relationship with someone who was very, very controlling and got angry in terms of their lack of getting sex. There's so many different things that I was dealing with at the time in that relationship. Physically and health-wise, I was going through a lot of things. But it was also a relationship where I didn't feel comfortable having sex with my partner because he would get so angry with me. And of course, that's not going to make me want to do it more. It is very important to remember that it is your body. You should be in control of your body. Narcissists and toxic people feel entitled to you as a person, and they feel like they should get every single piece of you, and that is absolutely not true at all. You should not ever be in a relationship with someone who is angry and screaming at you and demanding that you give them sex. That is an unsafe environment for you to be in, and you absolutely should not be in that situation. That is not how relationship works. You're supposed to feel safe and healthy and comfortable and wanting to explore each other and love each other in a healthy way in relationships. And you're not going to feel that way when you have someone that is screaming and yelling at you all the time because they're not satisfied with how much sex they are and aren't getting. If there's one thing that I should have listened to from the advice that I got from my stepmom was, if you're in a relationship with someone that is getting angry and is screaming and yelling at you, especially about the topic of sex, run. Girl, you better run. Boy, you better run. Person, you better run. You get what I'm saying? Because you should not be in that situation. That is not a safe situation for you to be in. You should be able to feel safe and comfortable and healthy and sexy when you have sex. And you can't do that when you don't feel safe with your partner. I tell my clients this all the time. If your partner doesn't respect your boundaries, your partner does not respect you. That includes having boundaries around sex. With my ex, there were certain things that I was just not comfortable with doing. Not even just with my ex in general. And my ex would go out of his way to make me feel horrendous about not wanting to do certain sexual acts. Regardless of if that is what your partner and their preference is, if simply you're not comfortable with doing or performing that specific act, you shouldn't be pressured into performing that specific act. And again, coercion is not consent. Coercion is not consent, period. There are a few key components to pay attention to when it comes to sex in general, but sex with someone who you think or fear may be a narcissist. Well, also a toxic person in general. It's not just narcissism. There's narcissists and toxic people. Sometimes those things tend to intertwine with each other, but in general, narcissists or toxic people, does your partner prioritize their sexual satisfaction over yours? Meaning, if all they're talking about is what they need or what they want and what they want to do, instead of having a conversation with you and you guys talking about what it is that you both want, exploring what it is that you both need, exploring what it is that makes both of you guys happy, what makes him happy, what makes her happy, what makes them happy, what makes you guys happy together. That's something that you need to pay attention to, because I shouldn't be putting my sexual needs over somebody else's. I should be considering both of our sexual needs. If someone is consistently talking about how sexually unsatisfied they are in your relationship, that's also something to pay attention to. So oftentimes when we have conversations with people, it's not always about what is said, but it's how they say it. I can express to my partner that I feel like there is a lack of sexual connection that we're having, and I want us to explore that. I want us to be able to work together, and I want us to be able to resolve that. That is different than, you never do this. Why don't you ever do this? I can't ever have sex with you the way I want. I don't get to, and they're screaming and yelling at you, and they're making this huge scene. They're making you feel unsafe and uncomfortable. That's not something that you should deal with in a relationship. If you're dealing with that in your relationship and you guys cannot have a conversation and non-violent communication, which is my favorite term on the planet, nonviolent communication, then you guys really need to sit down and reevaluate your relationship. You need to sit down and reevaluate your priorities of how you want to go about removing yourself from this relationship, because you are unsafe in this relationship, and sex is all about safety. If they have this sense of entitlement about your body, about you, they feel like they are entitled to you. They feel like because they're in a relationship with you, that they should just be able to get X, Y, and Z from you because you're in a relationship. That expectation needs to go out that door. Just because we're in a relationship, just because I'm married to my husband, does not mean that he's entitled to my body, and it does not mean that I am entitled to his body. If you feel like you're in a situation where they feel like they are entitled to your body and they're going into the realm of non or unconsensual sex with you, please start planning your escape route. That is not a situation you should be in. Run. Sex is supposed to be safe. Sex is supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be intimate, and it's supposed to be a bonding moment between you and your significant other, your partner, whatever the term is that you like to refer them to. If you're not feeling safe or comfortable, if you're not feeling like you guys are becoming one, if you don't feel like the other person is caring about your needs, your wants, your desires, if you guys are not on the same page, one, you need to revisit this conversation, or two, this is simply not the person you're supposed to be with. Not every single relationship is perfect. Not everybody's sex drive matches the other person's sex drive. My sex drive does not match my husband's sex drive, but we have conversations about it. We can have healthy conversations. We can have, open and honest conversations with each other that's not hurting the other person's feelings, that's not making the other person feel uncomfortable, that's not making the other person feel unsafe, that's not making the other person feel like they don't deserve to have autonomy over their own body. It's very important in relationships. Having these conversations are not easy things to do, but if you feel like you're being threatened, if you feel like you are not consensually engaging in healthy and safe sex with your partner, we have to start finding ways and strategizing ways to get you out of that relationship. That is not the relationship for you. They shouldn't be screaming and yelling at you about your lack of sex in a relationship. You guys should be able to talk about what's going on and get to the root issue of why you guys are not connecting in that way. But it should never be a situation where you are being physically unsafe. And that's just as simple as it gets. That is not the relationship for you to be in. That is not the person you should be with, because you need to feel safe and comfortable. Safe, 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 safe. That is the key word of this video. Safe. Again, my name is Coach Nia Renee. I'm a certified relationship coach. I specialize in intentional dating and finding love after abuse. However, I do work with clients that are currently in abusive relationships, that have just gotten out of abusive relationships with parents, friends, etc. I cover and touch on all things abuse, but I do specialize in intentional dating. So if you guys want to check out my coaching sessions and see what packages I offer or sessions that I offer, check out the link below and you guys will be able to see everything. Coach Nia Renee. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you guys next time.